all you Minties. I'm Adjectiveless Alicia, and today we'll be reviewing what, Poppy?
This is the Mighty Marvel Masterworks X-Men Volume 1.
Stay tuned!
Stay tuned!
Welcome back, all you Minties, to Near Mint Condition. Make sure to hit that like and subscribe button and ring that bell for notifications.
Yes, good job. You're getting really good at that. So, we are going to be talking about the Mighty Marvel Masterworks X-Men Volume 1, which collects the first 10 issues of X-Men. And even though these stories took place from 1963 to 1964, what do you think, Alicia?
Spoilers. Spoilers. Spoilers.
Spoilers.
Thank
Just
you.
in case. Well done, well done.
Spoilers.
Spoilers.
And thank you to David Gabriel and the folks at Marvel for sending the Junior Mints these to review.
That's right. We have the entire family reviewing my favorite title of all time. However, it did not become my favorite title until the uncanny days of Chris Claremont and Dave Cockrum and John Byrne. So I'm curious to see what you all thought about. The entire family read all these. So the first 10 issues of X-Men, let me just put the background. All right, Stan Lee, Jack Kirby, they were on a roll. They had created the Marvel Silver Age of comics. They had created Fantastic Four, and then Stan Lee and Steve Ditko did Amazing Spider-Man. They went over to and did Thor. They did Ant-Man. They did The Incredible Hulk. Then Stan Lee said, you know what? I'm really getting tired of creating characters with origins. I'm tired of telling backup stories. I'm just going to say some people were just born with powers. And that's the origin of the X-Men.
I feel like something I would do. I feel like,
Yeah.
thing.
No more people getting bitten by radioactive animals. It's now they're born this way.
And there was a lot of branding as it being strange. And of course, they already used the word uncanny somewhere in this book.
Yeah, on
but-
the side it says the strangest superheroes of all.
That's what it is.
That's how I used to
yeah,
do my
it's
book
like
reviews.
the branding, the way they were pushing it. They're like, "What is this? You won't believe it." Which I like that part. I like the hype.
The hype. So, okay, let's talk about this because we've reviewed Amazing Spider-Man, we've reviewed Fantastic Four, and you all are currently reading Silver Age Avengers. What did you think of Silver Age X-Men without comparing it to those two series so far? Like,
Okay.
what did you think about it as a story? 1963, 12-year-old, 9-year-old.
So for me, just specifically, like, I think it's definitely not one of the best Silver Age
Keep going.
comic books. Like, it's still good, but I do have some problems with it. Like, I know a lot of people out there don't really like X-Men, but
What? That's, no.
well,
Everybody.
it's like the first kind of Silver Age line.
Oh, okay.
People really
Okay.
didn't like it.
Well, it was canceled for a reason, but we'll talk about that later on. What did you think of? Okay, like who are some of the characters that are introduced here? Who do we have?
So the first 5 characters are Iceman, the Angel, Cyclops, Marvel Girl, and Beast.
And who leads this squad?
Professor Xavier, Professor X.
Professor X, right?
Professor X.
Now, are they children?
They're
And he's
teenagers.
and are they going to school? And he is their leader as well as their teacher?
Yeah. And actually, fun fact that we learned.
Fun fact.
Professor X is actually in his 20s, I
What?
think.
Yeah.
Like, we always think of him
Well,
as
she
like
didn't learn it.
an old man. Kind of like, alright, children, sit down and let me tell you a story. So, but he's actually in his 20s. He's just bald.
He had a really rough life.
Which really shed some light on some certain situations.
Which we'll get to here in a few
Yeah,
minutes.
it's like,
Alicia, what bad guys, what villains were introduced through these 10 pages?
There's the Blob,
Mhm.
Magneto and his like teen stuff, and then
His teen
there's
stuff.
yeah,
evil mutants.
yeah,
The Brotherhood of
Brotherhood
Evil
of
Mutants.
yeah.
The Teenage Mutants.
Submariner. He was in
Submariner.
Submariner.
Oh wow, okay.
And but he was in the Fantastic Four.
Who's the guy you can't touch? Not MC Hammer. Who's the guy you can't touch? Starts with a U. Bingo. Eunice the Untouchable is introduced through these pages.
Yep, just
He's
like
the
all
first
these-
one.
And who's the savage
No.
guy that lives with the
Khazar. He's not a bad guy.
No, he's not a bad guy.
Kazar.
And I think it's Kazar, but you can call him Kazar.
Kazar.
What do you call him, Mommy?
Katzar.
Kazar, yeah.
Kazar. Okay. So, we are introduced to a bunch of different characters, and what did you all think about the plot?
As a plot, there's like, honestly, I think it was okay. Like, there,
Me too.
like for me, like the last issue was kind of like with Kazar because like they're going back in the past.
They're going into the Savage Land. It's the land that hasn't been touched.
It's
The
still, I
untouchable
just like,
plant
I
of
think
land?
kind of.
I appreciated what they were trying to do with, being strange, like being out there, and it's like I think they had some good story ideas, and I could see where they were wanting to make the team like start off not getting along and then grow as characters and grow to get together, but the execution wasn't that
Honestly,
done.
just for me, I don't know if I'm just being oblivious or anything, but they seem to argue like a lot less than Fantastic Four with like
Yeah.
Ben, Johnny.
Right, yeah, that's what I was saying. Like, okay, that is a point where the characters can grow and bonds, but it was just kind of over the top. It wasn't just kind of, it was. It was like, you got anything else to say to each other? What do you think, Alicia?
I think it's real. Like, I think it's okay. It's not best. It's good. So like, yeah, I liked it. So like, and I think the characters didn't really argue that much too, cause like the Fantastic Four, Johnny and like, what is his? Not Johnny.
Ben.
And
Johnny.
Johnny. I was right. Okay. Ben and Johnny, they argue a lot.
Yeah, it's constantly like,
They were almost like
I'm
brothers.
leaving.
whereas
I'm leaving.
These kids were more like friends. So,
I guess because there wasn't anybody stable.
what was...
But they didn't seem like friends.
There was a fight with another team, though. Was there a misunderstanding between the Avengers and the X-Men?
Yeah.
What led to that misunderstanding?
They fought.
That's usually like the middle of the misunderstanding. What led to the misunderstanding of the Avengers fighting the X-Men? Why were they fighting?
Well, basically, there was this one dude, and like the Avengers were trying to find somebody, I think, and like
Magneto,
this-
I think.
yeah, and this one dude was like in a car, and they're like, "Hey, where's this bad
No,
guy?"
it was what was his name? I forgot his name.
What's his name? So they're
It
asking
was
for what's his name,
Yeah, it was what's
and
his name.
like,
Okay.
What's his name?
and so, and then the guy's like, "Oh my gosh, what the heck is happening?" Because like he sees all these random people, so he drives up ahead, and then like, so the Avengers start following him, and so they think the X-Men are the people that they're looking for.
It's a misunderstanding.
And then the X-Men think that the Avengers are bad guys because the guy's like, there's freaks back there. He's like, oh, dang it, you are freaks too. And he just kind of drives away.
Now, that's also the issue. That's issue number 9, I think,
Mhm.
where it tells the backup story of how Professor Xavier lost the use of his legs. Do you all remember that?
Oh yeah, it was number 9 where.
Okay, you're cheating. You're looking at the back of the book. That's what I used to do with
Yeah,
book reports.
number 9. Yeah, it was number
So
9.
that's
he
that's
was
the
in.
story with Lucifer,
Yeah.
who isn't really the devil,
Yeah,
but
no,
just the
nothing.
guy that goes by the name of Lucifer, and you get to see the origin of Professor Xavier losing his legs for the first time
Yeah.
because
Well,
it happens.
That was the guy that they went to try to find.
Lucifer.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good job.
All right.
That was his name.
Let's look at the artwork and come back and give our final thoughts. So here we have both covers. We have the direct market cover, which is the classic X-Men cover by Jack Kirby. Then we have the Michael Cho standard edition cover. This is the one that's available everywhere, and then this one is only available through
This
the
time-
direct market.
I like this one better.
Why is your hand up there?
I like this one.
What's happening?
Alright, also, this is a lie because Marvel Girl did not appear in the first issue.
Whoa,
Oh.
spoilers. And she is back there, so it's not much of a lie. And then, of
She's
course,
back there.
the spines are different for each of the Marvel Masterworks. The direct market versions are limited. So these right here are limited. Whereas the standard editions have a big number. Whatever volume this is a volume 1. This will say volume 3 of a special limited printing of collector's edition. So this is volume 3, even though it's volume 1 of X-Men. Everything else is the same on the inside. Let's look in here at some of this Jack Kirby artwork.
Snowman.
It's not
Ice
Snowman, it's
Iceman.
Iceman.
I like Iceman.
Oh,
So-
look, it's Marvel Girl.
There's Jean Grey. she does appear, but not in costume, as Lydia said. And there's Magneto in his first appearance. And what is his master plan?
To rule the world.
Pinky and the brain.
Okay, I don't. Those are both answers that are not right. Actually, no. Alicia's right. To rule the world. That's exactly what he wants to do. How's he plan on doing that, Lydia?
Well, just using his magnetic powers, he also wants to kind of group beings together, like Professor Xavier, but for evil reasons, you're gonna kill people. I don't know, mass murder.
Now later on, it's shown that both him and Professor Xavier know each other. But during these issues, do you get that in here?
No.
You get that they were
really.
friends at one time.
Kind of.
How they were friends?
All right, go.
Yeah, they're not.
Oh, look how bald he is.
That's a bald
No,
man.
that's the Vanisher.
No, he's
Not
bald.
it.
Professor Xavier just.
He looks old.
He's really smart. Okay.
He looks like he's in his 80s.
Quit being ageist, first of all. And here's some more Jack Kirby artwork. Some
Jack Kirby.
dynamic,
Yeah, look at that.
exciting scenes here. And here's your Brotherhood of Evil Mutants. Who's this guy, Lydia?
That is the Toad.
And this guy?
That's the Mastermind.
Good job. Now,
Quicksilver.
I'm going to do a quick quiz on you people.
Oh gosh.
All right.
No,
Alicia.
No.
Who is Bobby Drake?
Iceman.
Nice. I'm sorry, Astonishing Melanie. Who is Scott Summers?
I don't know. I'm going to take a stab in the dark, say Cyclops.
All right, you're almost kicked off the team. All right, Lydia, now it's your turn. Lydia, who is...
The flight of an unladen swallow.
Yes.
I'm trying to think of... What was his name? Adam X the Extreme. But that doesn't happen until the 90s. All right, Lydia, who is Hank McCoy?
That's the Beast, obviously.
All right, all three of you pass. Now,
Also, I
as
think
far as
can
the
I point out
extras...
something?
Sure.
You could see how in one of the covers that Scarlet Witch had a green suit on, but she has a red suit because it matches her. In case Scarlet.
Yep.
It doesn't match to have a green suit on.
No.
That doesn't make any sense.
So there's all these splash pages in
I
the
would
back.
like those. Those are fun.
And then
Yeah, I do too.
you have a cover here, an unused cover for issue number 10 with Kazar. All right, let's go back and give this our final thoughts.
All right, so who are our favorite characters?
Wolverine.
No, in this.
Oh, in this.
Mine's Beast,
Mine's Cyclops.
Mine's Iceman.
which surprised me. I suppose he is the stable one. I mentioned earlier no one's stable, but he's so serious.
Cyclops?
Yeah, and it's so surprising.
No, I said Iceman.
I'm talking to her.
Oh.
Yeah, and also it's no surprise that Alicia likes Iceman since her favorite Mega Man character is Iceman.
Well,
Yeah.
no, you like how Bobby is silly,
Yeah.
right?
He's also
Silly little
the
goose.
youngest one.
I'm
too.
pretty sure it's 15,
Yeah,
16.
just like you like Johnny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
and they become really good friends, Iceman and the Human Torch, later on.
Now, did we get oh, I'm sorry, darling. Who is your favorite of the original?
Man, that's Professor X, maybe. He's so
He was kind of
over dramatic and clever.
yes, it using a trick to make them test themselves. They passed the test. I tricked you, but I don't know. He just
He's putting a lot of teenagers in danger too with
Yeah.
the danger room. I don't know. Okay, we'll come back to that. So, what was your overall thoughts, Melanie, about this?
Well, all three of us have the same thought
Okay, I
about.
think I
Let's
know
say
what it
her
is.
name,
Jean
Jean.
Grey.
I know
Oh,
this is-
everybody's obsessed with her.
Yeah,
this
yeah.
Professor,
So it's not her, though, right? We don't have a problem with her.
yeah, it's just everybody's
She's-
obsessed with her.
She's
It's
the
creepy.
She's
Professor
like-
Xavier's just oh, she's so pretty, and
Cyclops
Which
is
is
like-
fine.
Cyclops.
sure,
is
but it's everybody's constantly just
Now that we know that he's only 20-something.
Still weird because she's a teenager.
But
But that's all been retconned since then. So, yeah.
they're obsessed with her to the point of there's no story because they're all fighting over her and literally picking her up like a doll, and
Yeah.
that kind of fighting over her where let her just give some space in the comic for her to be herself. And for them to be themselves instead of being oh Jean, and then Cyclops. Oh well, she she'll never love me. I'm gonna go moping.
And then
He never
Jean
grew
Grey
out
is
of
like,
that.
"Oh, Cyclops will never love me. He's
Yeah, that's
probably
true.
not gonna love me."
So in this particular era, their powers were very limited. Like when Iceman first appeared, did he even look like an Iceman?
Yeah.
He did? I thought he looked more like a snowman.
Oh well, yeah,
The
the,
way that Jack
texture,
Kirby
yeah,
did.
it was snowman, and he got those boots, and then they changed. They're like, what
what
is
about-
this guy supposed to wear? That's
What
what,
about
they're trying to
Jean?
figure out.
What are Jean's powers during this?
Jean
time?
has
she has-
telekinesis.
Yeah.
So
she
does
can
she have
move stuff.
any telepathy? She's just telekinesis?
Yeah,
She
just,
can't talk with her thoughts, right?
Yeah, she just picks up objects.
Yeah.
That's it.
So later on, you know, they give them, later on they do give them further powers. Like, not even before the second mutation thing with Angel and the healing blood, but well, maybe you kids don't have to read that.
What?
But anyway, don't worry about it. But it is interesting to go back and read these stories when Beast was just this,
Yeah.
that was his mutant power. He had big hands and big feet.
and agility and strength and
Right. And he's a pretty interesting character, but that doesn't happen until later. So to me, it always felt like these characters were pretty bland. Especially, I went back reading these stories. These are your first X-Men comics. You all have never read, well, with the exception of Mommy, you two have never read any X-Men comics.
I've
So-
seen you read some sometimes.
You've seen me
I've seen
read-
you read.
I've seen Wolverine.
Doesn't count.
I've seen the intro to
But
So
the TV
I'd
show.
like to recap that I appreciate how they started the team.
Mhm.
That it was like they really went with the big idea, though, rather than building the characters to be themselves.
Yeah. I think they had a good
So
thing
it's a
going.
start, and then it got restarted.
They had a good thing going with every other title just about, and then I guess they expected to capture that same lightning in a bottle with this, and they really never did, and I don't know why that was.
It's forced. The teenage interactions are forced and trite, and like,
Of
do you
course,
know
the
how
thing-
teenagers talk to each other?
Now, out of 10, what would you ladies rate
Oh, I haven't
this
thought of my
particular era of X-Men?
So honestly, I think I'd give this a 6.5.
6.5, okay. What about you, Alicia?
A 7.5.
7.5.
Which
Wow.
surprises me. I give it a 5, and that's because it would be lower, but it's because of what I said. I appreciate what they did with starting this comic.
Yeah, it is hard to rate this era knowing where it's going, but if you take it as it was coming out, like if you were reading these issues and that was it, there were no more X-Men, it seems like a pretty forgettable comic. So I think for me, like, yeah, oh my goodness, I hate to say this about
Is it-
X-Men.
What is it?
6. It's a 6. I mean, you had Jack Kirby's artwork, though.
I thought you were going to agree with me.
Well, I don't agree with you half the time.
Okay.
But yeah, you had Jack Kirby's artwork in there, and that really helped out. And this introduced the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants. You had Eunice the Untouchable. You had the Vanisher. There were some fun things about these characters when they first appeared to look at where they went. But that's our rating. Let us know if you pick these up, what you think about them, if you have kids, what they thought about them, or if you yourself read them when they came out and you're like, how dare this family give my magical books a 5 out of 10. That is your problem, woman. Thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet, ring that bell for notifications. Alicia, what else
Have
did
you
we
done
say?
that? Have you done all that, Alicia? Good job.
What else did we say?
Stay minty.
Stay minty.
And much love.
Hey! Good
Oh,
job,
good
kid.
job. High five.
Bye,
Bye.
guys.